much awaited coronation of King Charles III and Camilla has concluded at Westminster Abbey. The coronation took place at the Royal Church, which has seen a similar ritual for 39 last monarchs. UK hosted a coronation after 70 long years. The skies of London have been overcast throughout the day, but it has failed to cast a shadow on the glitz and glory of the royal event. We are being told the King and Queen consort are still at Westminster Abbey. After arriving back at the Buckingham Palace, they will receive a royal salute from the military. This will be followed by a balcony moment, the kind you see at royal weddings, jubilees, etc., where the royal couple will be joined by other members of the royal family. There also will be a flypast by military aircraft featuring planes from World War II. Now the visuals on your screens are coming in from Westminster Abbey. It was quite trimmed compared to the late Queen Elizabeth's coronation ceremony, which went on for about 3 hours back in 1953. The visual on your screen is of the King Charles III. He was crowned just moments back. Now the coronation was a 5-part process. Part 1 was the recognition of the King. Part 2 was the oath-taking. Part 3 was the anointing. Part 4 was the investiture and the crowning, which we just showed you. And Part 5 was the enthronement. Now, for those of you who are just joining in, the coronation ceremony at the Westminster Abbey, the church has had concluded just a while back. And now the King and Queen consort will be heading towards the Buckingham Palace. While after they arrive, they will be receiving a royal salute from the military. And then the royal couple will be seen at the balcony, the famous balcony of Buckingham Palace, the ones that you see usually on occasions of weddings and jubilees. Of course, the royal couple will be joined in by the other members of the royal family. for our viewers, let's take you through what has unfolded in the last 5-6 hours. King Charles III and Queen Camilla left the Buckingham Palace at about 11 a.m. London time, and then they head towards the Westminster Abbey. And by the time they reached, all invitees, of course, the golden ticket, as it said, were seated by then. Now, the event was a quite trimmed down version compared to late Queen Elizabeth's coronation ceremony, which went on for about 3 hours back in 1953. Now, first thing was the recognition of the monarch. King Charles III stood beside the coronation chair, or the Edward's chair as it's also called. And the Archbishop of Canterbury called on the attendees to recognize the monarch. This is the first phase of any coronation. The Archbishop then poured the chrism oil on the king's hands, chest and head. The tradition is supposed to reinforce the divine right of the monarch. It was made using olives harvested from 2 groves. Following the anointing, Charles was presented with various regalia, and then the king was finally crowned. Now, it is called the St. Edward's crown. It was made back in 1661 for the coronation of King Charles II and has been stored in the Tower of London since then. So this is the first time we are seeing it. Now, the crown that sits on the temple of King Charles III is made of solid gold. It is studded with 444 gemstones, including rubies, sapphires, garnets and tourmalines. The crown weighs about 5 pounds, and this is the first and the only time that Charles will be wearing this crown. Now, when King Charles was being crowned, gun salutes were fired from military bases across the United Kingdom. He was then moved from the coronation chair to the throne, completing the entire coronation process. Now, on your screens, what you're seeing is the Gold State Coach. The King and the Queen are departing from Westminster Abbey towards Buckingham Palace. Now, what they are undertaking is actually called the Coronation Procession. Now, to tell you about this Gold State Coach, this is 260 years old. It is said to be about 4 tons. And it is pulled by about 8 horses and can only travel at walking pace. Now, this coach was first used by King George III to travel to the state opening of the Parliament back in 1762, and the coach has been used in every coronation since King William IV in 1831. Now, as you can see, members of the public have lined up along the way to greet the royal couple.